blood and bloody ashes. It's another edition of the Beep Ball Blue Show here with me, Neil DAWG, and that dude over there, Seth Bam Bam Clark.
So you kind of were broken up, Matt, but I like it.
I
I
did,
like it.
Lord Golden Eyes. I did.
I did. Yeah, but you kind of broke up there, man.
Oh, that's what
But
you meant.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
No, I could. I like the match from Coffin. I'm a big fan of match from Coffin. Not that all the people out there
yeah,
wonder what we're talking about.
burn
Yeah,
you.
yes, blood and
Uh,
bloody ashes. Oh, you fish getter. Oh boy.
I I haven't told you, but I am guilty of having started the series again.
Wow.
When I went to Missouri the first time back in June, I didn't have any like new.
And hold off for anybody who's not aware, he's talking about the Robert Jordan Wheel of Time series, which has like 13 books and like, I don't know, 12,000 pages. So it is quite
15,
the 15,000.
15 books,
It is
15 books.
it is quite the undertaking, quite the undertaking. But
It
go
is.
ahead.
And I've
Yeah.
read the whole series three times so far.
Jeez.
And
The
what
good thing it's such a detailed series that you forget things, you learn new things. I can imagine, but I couldn't do that. But
it's weird. I still really enjoy it. When I went to Missouri the first time back in June, I didn't really have any books to throw on my player, so I put the first three books on there, and I've just been kind of mixing in them and other books, and I'm close to the end of book three. So
wow,
and I've enjoyed reading through them again, and there's things I pick up on. It's like, I never noticed that before.
all
So
right. No, you
anyway,
and Trajan knocked out. I think he did the series twice. He did. I believe he did the series twice.
I
But
didn't know that. I'm proud of him. That makes me
uh,
proud. Makes me proud.
well, I think he started reading it when he was like in the fifth grade or something like that. Um,
I don't remember. I thought we
uh,
held him off a little bit because it's a little
he,
more grown up than
it
like
was he was always he didn't read the entire series. Obviously, he didn't finish the entire series. I think until his
later.
11th grade year when he had his concussion or whatever. But he has tried to reread it again. I know. I don't know if he totally got through it. He read it on Talking Book, so as
Yeah.
well as tape. So, but or print. But I haven't been able to to broach that hill yet, man. That's quite that's an
It
intimidating
is.
task, man.
Actually, I'm gonna move on to other books after I finish book three, but I am gonna go through the whole series again. Got to. Can't start it and not finish it.
uh,
Anywho, quick show note before we get our guest in. This is the time of year when we generally slow things down a bit, don't do shows quite as often anyway, but things are going to be very busy for me, especially over the next few weeks and over the next month or so in general. So we'll probably get one show in like in a couple weeks, but it's going to be a little hit and miss for a while on when we get shows in and when we don't. And I'll get more on that, I guess, as we go. Don't want to dive into it all now. But going into what we're doing now, this weekend is going to be what would have been the hitters and heroes tournament that the Indy Edge host and try to host each year. Um, ran into some problems. We had a four-team tournament set up, including my sirens, even though I'm not going to be able to be out there. Um, but my sirens, the heat, the thunder, and the edge, we're all going to be there. But The Thunder ended up having like a fundraising conflict, and I'm not sure what happened to the Heat. Think they're just scared of my sirens, so they backed out, chickened out. You know how the Heat are, kind of scared. But nah, all joking aside, that the tournament isn't going to happen as it usually does. My sirens are still going to make the trip, but it's just gonna be the Sirens and the Edge playing some whatever scrimmages, exhibition games, whatever. My Sirens go teach that Edge how to play a little defense, maybe, but um that's what's up. And so this week from the Indy Edge, we brought in not their newest player because they've made an addition recently, but one of their new players they had over this summer had a successful first year with the Edge, Mr. Kaleb Wright. Welcome, Caleb.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I appreciate your patience. I know I've been a little scattered in my communications this week, and whatever. We've been talking about getting you on the show since I talked to you back at the World Series, but glad that we were able to work it out.
Caleb, have you ever read the Wheel of Time series?
The what?
The Wheel of Time series book by Robert Jordan?
No, I don't read.
No, you're not a big reader. I
No.
was gonna. Okay, all right. All right, well, that shuts down that
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
I guess all our deep philosophical conversations happen before the show
Blood and
started.
bloody ashes.
Yes, yes. So we're all good though. We're all good. It doesn't matter. Hey, man, you can hit the ball hard. So who cares what you read, man?
Caleb, before we like dive into beat ball, I know the first time I heard of you was last year when you were with the Gateway Archers for your rookie season. And I think you kind of put yourself on the map as a hitter, anyways, with the Edge this year. What's your background like? How do you end up in our blind world? How do you end up in beat baseball?
I have an interesting story. I was diagnosed with RP when I was 12 years old. I didn't know anything about blind sports until I turned 18 years old when I transferred over to the Missouri School for the Blind, my end of my senior year. So I
Okay.
got I got introduced into goal ball. I started doing track. I did wrestling. I did forensics, and I did swim. I didn't find out about beep ball until the after my senior year of high school in a beep ball clinic that the Archers were doing a how do I say this, doing a not a showing, but they were showing kids how to play, and like Mike Curtis was going out pitching.
Yeah.
I It
Little
was just a
A
demonstration.
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 Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the proper
demonstration.
proper term. I didn't know what beep ball was until I was 18.
Talk
Hold on,
about
can I hold on? I'm
yeah,
sorry. I
yeah.
gotta stop. What is forensics?
Foren Oh, how do I describe this?
I kind of had that
It's
same question.
forensics is like it's like theater put together with public speaking. So there's different like topics or categories. So like there's 4 minute speeches. There's duos, which you get a group and you do it's two people and you do a pres not a presentation but a skit. A skit's what you do. And it's basically like you have to do it within a certain time frame. That's what forensics is.
And the different schools for the blind like do competitions with it, correct?
Yes. It happens the same day. It happens the same weekend as the swim meet. So swim and forensics actually happen during the same time.
One of our players on the Sirens, Jasmine, she's still at the School for the Blind in Indiana, and just kind of following her trek over this last year and noticing like all the different things. There's like a lot of things that are not sports related that the schools for the blind compete in that are actually pretty cool when I get a little I don't know, glimpse into them. Out of all the different sports that you tried, did you have any you know, favorites? What you enjoy
Blind
doing the
school
most?
sports are like favorite blind sport. Because my favorite school sports probably go ball, but my favorite blind sports beat ball.
You wouldn't consider go ball a blind sport?
They don't. I think he's talking about because they don't play beep ball in the schools.
They
Ah,
don't do
got
beat
you,
ball in the schools.
got you.
When I
Tracking
was
with you.
when I was around you, you seemed to be kind of a high. You seem to have a good amount of vision. Have you done any other like sighted sports or I
I
don't.
played baseball until I was 12.
Okay.
I
But
played baseball, I played soccer, and I played football.
all right, very cool. So, and I like you were on my radar when you were with the Archers in 2023 is somebody that could be up for the male rookie of the year. I wasn't sure if you would get because they had a lot of talent and I wasn't sure if you were going to get enough run to get there. And then things didn't, I guess, work out ultimately, and you went on to the Indy Edge. And you had a really good year with them. I've been trying to remember. I know you hit 3 home runs total this year, one at the World
Mhm.
Series and two at the Indy Bonanza, or was that
The
at the
Bolingbrook.
Chicago? Okay, Bolingbrook. I know you hit your home runs in back-to-back at bats. Did you were those your first two at bats with the Edge?
No, that
Okay.
was I played in the Bonanza
Okay.
and I did get some at bats. I didn't get any at bats in the Bolingbrook tournament until that Chicago game.
Well, I like home run wise, I think there are just like some cool stories that stand out. Bam Bam's being one of them, hitting the very first home run ever in beep baseball as a 17-year-old. Corey White hitting the walk off in a championship game. Um, I don't know. Oh, and Casey Krause hitting one to tie a game in the 6th inning at the Las Vegas tournament this last year. I mean, we've had some exciting moments with home runs, but I remember because I was here kind of reporting or keeping track of the tournaments over the summer so that we could talk about them here on the show. And I remember when hit home runs and you're in back-to-back at bats. That was another moment that stood out to me. What was that like for you?
What did it feel like?
Yeah, just, like finally getting an opportunity to play more and coming through like that. I don't know. They had to charge you up quite a bit, I would think.
The first one I really didn't have much of a reaction, but when I hit the second one, man, it was adrenaline was pumping and I felt great. And it was really thrilling because, I in a lot of practices, like I was practicing, even when I practiced with Gateway, I hit home runs. They knew that they were coming. It just didn't happen in the tournament.
All right. So you were obviously having a lot of good experience in practice. I hadn't had enough opportunity to see you play. So the power you were displaying was something I wasn't expecting. Are you yeah, I'm totally blind, so even though I was around you, I can't really size you up. Are you a big dude? Do you work out? Like where's this
Oh
power
yeah,
coming from?
I do powerlifting also. I compete in powerlifting meets. I'm not a small guy. I'm like 5'8". I weighed in yesterday. I'm 205. Not 205, 210.
You're like a little fullback in football. What talk about your powerlifting a little bit. Like how'd you
Uh,
get into that?
The School for the Blind, they were doing stuff for us and they asked me, do you want to work out with a personal trainer? I'm like, oh, sure, that's a great idea. So then I started like working out with a trainer and I got into a meet and I've been hooked on it since doing it.
That's cool. Back to beep ball. Um, I know like in the tournaments I saw you over the summer, I believe you were mostly working as a DH as the World Series came on. Where I didn't get a chance to. Now that I'm involved with the team, I'm not seeing, especially during the World Series, I'm not seeing as many games as I normally would have in the past.
You don't have
What?
3, 4 phones set up around you out there in the field.
Yeah. Um, where are you at on defense now? Did you get some run on defense this year?
Yeah, I played most of the World Series in the right rover.
How do
How'd you
you
do? How do you like defense? I mean,
I
how do you
enjoy
feel?
it. I don't want to be like just a guy that can hit the ball. I want to be good at all three cycles of the ball.
And how is that progressing? I mean, defense is always is a challenge at times. I could say
It's
clearly, but how is it coming for you?
I think it's coming better. I mean, I feel like since I've joined the Edge, my defense has gotten a lot better.
They have somebody coaching you up there or whatever, helping
Oh
you out.
yeah. I mean, you've got Eric and Eric's one of the best defenders
All right.
of all time. And like Eric is like the big guy I look to help me like with my defense.
Yeah, you should check out Neil Dog too. Neil Dog was a Hall of Fame defender. Well, is a
Yeah,
Hall of
right.
Fame
Was
defender.
they
Yeah.
bounced
Oh,
me out?
I'm on that black man. Come on now. uh,
Do you have, because you said you mostly played right field rover, do you like playing out there? Do you have thoughts of trying to like move into the middle or up front? Like
I
what's your desire on defense?
I prefer to play the rover.
Yeah, you like to run around?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've got more room to roam, and I
mhm.
don't have to worry about like running into people because like I tried the mid and like it just didn't work out.
You were knocking people down.
No, I
I'm
wasn't knocking
joking.
people down. I was like hesitant on
Right.
creeping up or going too far over.
Right. If
Yeah.
when you're playing in the middle, it does. You have to think about the people around you and be aware of it, and it does kind of it can distract your mindset of just going 100% for that ball as you should. So that makes sense.
Are you making the trip to Indy for the scrimmages and stuff this weekend?
Oh yeah, I'll be there.
It's going to be your first chance because I don't know, whatever. Haven't been diving into all the suspensions that the league handed down, but Kyle Kennedy, your pitcher, isn't going to be able to play next year, but you guys came through in a big way, in my opinion. You guys made the move that I would have moved. I would have tried to make if I was the Edge. You pick up Jeremy Lopez to come on and be your pitcher. So is this going to be your first opportunity to work with Jeremy this coming weekend?
Yeah, it'll be my first time working with Jeremy.
You looking forward to it?
Oh yeah, I've always wanted to hit off Jeremy.
It's funny you say always like, well, I haven't been around that long. It's like, well,
Since my first
neither is
season.
Caleb. So no, I'm with you. I just my mind wasn't clicking because Jeremy really only has a couple years more experience than you do, but uh, no, I like Jeremy personality wise, and I was totally blown away by the success he had early on with the Jets. Usually it takes a pitcher a while to kind of come around, but he was a championship level pitcher. It seems like
Oh,
right out of the gate.
or
You
sending people in and out.
No, it's all right. I
Sending
thought
people in and out, man. Sorry.
tell, tell your kids stop interrupting our show.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Um, you got to play with some, in my opinion, some really good players while you were with Gateway, and then you go over, to the Edge, and you're playing with the whole stable of really good players. Um, have any of them kind of taken you under your wing, or is there anybody that kind of stands out to you with all the great players you played with in your young career?
I
Uh,
think the top of the list is Eric. I think Corey's also one of the better players that I've got the privilege of playing with. And I think Justin's another one of those guys that, you don't think how good Justin is, but Justin is a straight up baller
oh yeah.
of a player.
Yeah, we had Justin on the last episode, but I've been a fan of Justin Holland for a while. He's just like an exciting player, big home run hitter. Hit for average, a great
You got
athlete.
the wheels. The
Yeah,
wheels, he's a good fielder.
yeah. Have any of them, kind of taken you under their wing, being a younger player, try to show you the ropes?
And everybody, I think, like Eric's definitely done it. I know Corion's helped me a lot too. It was a bummer. I mean, I looked forward, like when I joined the Edge, I looked forward to actually getting to play with Nick. And, Nick didn't really get to play this year and it sucked.
Yeah, yeah. Keep in
How
mind.
often do you guys get to practice with them? You said you're in Missouri, right?
Last year I came in twice a month to the Edges practice. I went twice a month. I'd come in Friday and I'd leave out on Sunday.
Staying at Mama Leah's house?
Yeah, staying at Miss Lisa and Leah's. I stayed at Leah's and I stayed at Eric's house.
All right.
And when will that start for you guys? You this year? When will your official, like, I don't know, practice season start? Or do you? I assume you're constantly working throughout the off season, all that stuff. But when do you guys do that? Do you guys get together all the time since you're playing, still doing tournaments or whatever? Is this a year round thing?
Yeah, they practice year round for the most part. I mean, I don't know what my availability is going to be different because last year I wasn't working a full-time job.
Right.
So I'm probably only going to come in maybe once a month.
Life has its way of whatever, making its own demands on your time.
You can always go back to St. Louis. I'm just joking. All right, you
What
play hot stove.
like outside of beep ball and powerlifting, what kind of other stuff are you into?
I
Other
like playing
interests?
I like playing video games.
That's always a hard one for Seth and I to follow because we don't play any video games, but
Madden, man. Madden, there's an
Oh, I love
accessibility
Madden.
feature on Madden.
have you tried it yet, Seth?
Yeah,
Did
it's
you like?
not. No.
You don't like it?
No, I mean it doesn't. It doesn't do it for you. Doesn't do it
Yeah,
for me.
I
And
got you.
I had like Trajan like look at it, and I mean Trajan's kind of aware of what you need to do, and you know how it is being blind and stuff like that. He's like, nah, this isn't really what you're thinking, man. So we did it. There's little vibrations and stuff like that, but overall, it doesn't like read you. It's still not whatever. It gives you, I guess, some ideas that you can guess on, but nothing. I was, all
Not what?
excited to try it,
Yeah.
and I tried it, and I haven't picked it up since.
No. I
Have you?
assume
Go ahead.
to Caleb. I assume Caleb, do you have enough vision to where you're not using the accessible stuff? Are you
Yeah, I've got enough.
all right? What are the games? Yeah, I know you said you love Madden. What are some of the other
I like
things?
Madden. I like MLB The Show. I play EA, the college football that just came out this year. I play Rocket League, which I mean, I'm a nerd.
I've-
It's essentially like you drive a ball. It's essentially car soccer. Like you drive a car and you try and hit a ball in the net.
I've never heard of
Yeah, all right.
that.
Demolition Derby cross with soccer, man. That's crazy.
Well,
Yeah,
shoot,
no.
man. I mean, we've been popping through this, and I don't really have a lot else for you. Do you have some stuff beat ball wise you would like to touch on? Or Seth, I guess I should ask you first. Do you have some other stuff you would ask our guest?
I'm always interested in power hitters or whatever. So you've hit several home runs. Have you ever tried to hit a home run, or is it just something that you know just
It's
happens?
something like it just happens. If you swing harder, your swing's gonna change. You just gotta go up to the plate and if you every home run I've hit, it just feels like a normal hit. Doesn't feel any different.
Right. It's not like, oh, there you go. I think I yelled "bam bam" on my home run, but I was just a cocky individual back then.
I forgot it. Had no memory of that, but you did. Because
Right.
Marge and John Bancroft, who were teammates of ours on the dogs, Marge Bancroft, going back to like the 80s with, before there was live streaming and all that. Marge had a video camera she would take to the World Series, and she would videotape games, and she was there videotaping our game as your home run came against the Albuquerque True Site, and she videotaped that game. And I do remember now, I used to have
Right.
a copy of that tape. And I do remember when you made contact, you're like, bam, bam,
Bam, bam, yeah.
as you're running out of the batter's box.
So that was. I think that's the only time I ever did that. But interesting, interesting. Yeah, so to be young and cocky again, Neil Dog.
Caleb, I will ask you though, because you got a lot more playing time during this last World Series compared to your first World Series. Like once it was all, said and done, like how'd you feel? I'm not just like, oh, were you happy, sad, or whatever, but I've always said that the World Series is kind of like a marathon, getting your body ready for a 5-day tournament's a lot more challenging than getting your body ready for a 4-game tournament. How did you feel coming out? Do you like have any plans of changing up how you prepare for the tournament after getting more experience?
I can tell you like the first year I played, I got 12 at bats. The last season I got I think 28, and like I was done at the end of the week. I was tired.
Right.
And it's a different like you don't think it's like that but it's a completely different beast running to the base like 20 times instead of only running to the base 6 times.
No,
So
it
I was and it was a war of attrition.
that's the most I think difficult part for players to learn is like having to get your body ready, not just like lifting to hit with power or whatever, but getting your body ready to hold up through that tournament. So since you said you were pretty beat down at the end, has it changed your thinking and like how you're going to prepare physically next year?
I mean, it's changed. I knew that like I came into the seat like at the end of the World Series, I was 220 pounds. I've dropped 10 pounds since last season.
All right.
So I don't need to be carting as much weight around as what I should be,
Yeah.
is
Well,
what I have been doing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. In the end, I believe, Seth, that is something both you and I can understand.
Yeah, man, and I was always blessed because my pitchers would strike me out 50% of the time. So I wouldn't have to run all them damn bases, man. But no, I hear that.
I believe he's been a tad bit sarcastic when he says that's him being blessed, but
Yeah, no, I am. Yes,
did,
I am joking. Yeah, about being blessed. Yeah.
did indeed save you some leg strength.
Yeah. Okay. Plenty of K's, man. Plenty of K's, man.
I remember, 'cause Seth and I played. I can't even count up all. We played with a handful of pitchers in a short period of time. Probably between Seth and I became teammates for the first time in 1990, and we played with one, two, three, four, five different pitchers in the first 7 years that we were teammates. So our pitching position was a revolving door. And I like Seth experienced plenty of strikeouts. But in 97, when my buddy Greg Parra came and pitched for
Yeah.
us,
Hey.
I had like 40 something at bats and he only struck me out one time. So that was really my first experience in a while anyway, since maybe my early years in the 80s of realizing, how much more
Yeah.
the legs are demanded on when you're making contact and having to
Yeah.
run those
No, for
bases.
me, it totally changed once I went to the Heat, right? Because
Yeah.
Fonzie stopped striking me out, so I was running 40 out 40 times. Like, wow, this is hardcore, man. The old man ain't ready for this. So,
I mean, I got to play for 4 years with Tim Hibner, 5 years, maybe, I guess, if you include the year I played with Oklahoma. And so, I definitely experienced a lot more contact at the end of my career. But I can remember the year when Greg pitched to us. You and I were hitting back to back in the order, and we used the same bat. And I didn't have that strikeout till like the third day of the tournament. And I was just like, I'm walking away from the plate, holding the bat, and you're like yelling at me, like, Neil, give me the bat. Because I didn't have to just drop it and run. How is your like overall contact, Caleb? I know you had the power numbers, whatever, but are you getting consistent contact all the way through?
I'm getting I mean, I had the lowest amount of strikeouts, I think, on the team this year.
Oh wow. Well, that's certainly a good good
I
thing
think
to stand on.
I also had the highest average.
I did not go through all the averages. Like I used to be part of the All-Star selection, and I didn't do it this year. I chose not to do it this year, and so I didn't bounce through all the stats like I would have in the past. So I wasn't on top of that. But that's impressive considering you're playing with, Eric Rodriguez, Corey White, Corian White. You got some well established all-star level players all around you. So that's a pretty big boast right there to be able to say that. Good on you. Well, I don't have anything else for you. Do you have anything else, Caleb, that you would like to touch on? Anything you're hoping we could talk about?
Not really.
All right. Fair enough. Well,
people.
Seth's got work he's got to get back to. I've got stuff I've got to get to. We could let you get to your night. I do want to just throw out that I had talked to Corian White also at the World Series, and he wanted to come on the show, so I was going to try to get Corian together with Caleb, but Corian wasn't able to do it. But I definitely would like to later on down the road get Corian onto the show. It's always confusing with Corey and Corian to get their names right, but I definitely want to reach out to Corian later during the off season and try to get him involved. But I appreciate you coming on, Caleb. I enjoy
I
getting to talk to you.
I appreciate getting invited.
I enjoyed meeting you out at the World Series, and it was fun getting a little more background on you.
Yes, and good luck.
No,
Yeah,
not a whole
I'm
lot to
sure
know
we'll
about me.
You're a winning team, so we'll probably have you back on 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times for the series.
You know, Seth, weren't able to be here when the Cleveland Scrappers joined the show a couple episodes ago, but Antonio Devine, who's been a fan of the show for a long time, he's really pushing you he was wanted to talk to you that night because he really wants you to pull off the Beep Baseball Jeopardy. He wants it
Oh,
back.
good.
He wants it
Okay,
back.
good. Good.
So,
All right. Put it on my list, Neil.
yeah,
On my to-do list.
he was putting it on me. I was like, man, that's Seth's problem now. If
Uh,
when we get on the show, you make sure you tell Seth, but he wasn't able to tell you. So I'm telling you for him. I know he's listening.
well,
Antonio
good.
wants you to pull that off. He wants some more Beat Ball Jeopardy.
Perfect. Consider it done, man. Consider it done. You'll hear an announcement in a few weeks.
Locked and loaded.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
cool, man. Hey,
That is
Caleb, nice meeting you.
Thank
Have
you,
fun.
sir.
All right.
All right, everybody. That is it for this one. Like I said, just a little restate. It's going to be a little sketchy when we're going to be able to get in shows. Won't be another one for a couple weeks, but we'll try to mix something in right around the time of the Texas tournament that's coming up in October. But once things get settled, I don't know, down the road, we'll get more regular again. But we are going to keep it going no matter what. So we will see you next time. Everybody be well until then.
Peace.